The Connecticut Conference of Municipalities is Connecticut's statewide association of towns and cities, founded in 1966 to provide united representation for the state's municipalities. CCM currently has 151 member towns and cities that include 92% of the state's population. I'm Nathan O'Leary for Comcast Newsmakers in the Kent McCrae studio at the University of Hartford. Jim Finley, Executive Director and CEO of the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, joins me right now. And welcome to the program, Jim.
Thanks, Nathan. Great to be here.
For those people who aren't familiar with CCM, can you break down what you guys do?
Yeah, we're a voluntary association of towns and cities, Nathan. We represent 151 towns and cities, as you indicated. We provide a wide array of services to those members, including advocacy up at the state capitol, judicial intervention in court cases that would have an impact on towns and cities. We provide a variety of programs, municipal labor relations, technical assistance. We help them in energy efficiency projects and also in purchasing electricity at better rates than they can get in the commercial market.
That sounds great. And why is there such a need to have, we're talking statewide coalition here? Why is that important?
Well, it's important because if individual municipalities went up to the state capitol, it would be very difficult for them to convince 187 state legislators to do something to their benefit. When they speak as a collective voice, urban, suburban, and rural, under the CCM umbrella, they have a collective clout that they wouldn't have individually. What
are the lingering issues? You've got state versus local. What are the lingering issues when we're talking about job creation for local economies?
It's difficult at the local level because municipalities in Connecticut really only have one revenue source, the property tax. Yeah. So when state aid is insufficient during these difficult times, when federal aid is declining during the difficult fiscal climate the federal government finds itself in, it puts more pressure on the property tax. It makes it more difficult for towns and cities to provide the services that attract businesses to relocate to Connecticut or expand. Things like public education, having quality public education at the local level, having quality recreational programs, elderly and youth services.
One of the biggest expenses too is education. So how do you feel about the education reform initiatives that the state just passed?
We commend the governor for making education reform a priority. It still doesn't go far enough. It doesn't go far enough because right now 62 cents out of every property tax dollar in Connecticut goes to pay for pre-K through 12 public education. We're the most reliant state in the nation on the property tax to fund public education. The state has been grossly underfunding education over the last decade, and we're looking for the state to do more financially in order to meet its state constitutional responsibility to ensure that every student in Connecticut, no matter where they live, no matter what town, has an equitable and adequate public education.
So if you were sitting here with the governor, what would you say to him as far as ensuring that this education system is first rate and also that the state pay more for it? How do they do that?
I'd say, Governor, you made a great start in this education reform initiative. What's missing is education finance reform, and that's the key to property tax reform in Connecticut. We know that you're still facing difficult financial circumstances at the state level. Let's put ourselves on a path to phase in increased funding over time for public education in Connecticut and look at the various revenue sources the state has, income tax, sales tax, and other things, and see what needs to be adjusted to raise that revenue to devote to public education.
One of your goals is obviously trying to bring all the cities up as far as prosperity. You have some very poor cities and towns here, so how do you manage targeted investments in those areas?
Yeah, we have three of the poorest cities in the United States in Connecticut: Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport.
In the country?
In the country. And in the state that has the highest per capita income. So we have incredible wealth in this state and incredible poverty. About 8 of our school districts educate the vast majority of our poor and English language learning students. Wow. And those with other special needs. So Connecticut is sort of, there's two Connecticut's. There's the wealthy Connecticut, and then there's the sort of have-not Connecticut. And one thing that CCM is able to bring together is communities of all different sizes, urban, suburban, and rural, to agree that the state needs to fund education better, but also to target that aid to those most in need.
All right, thank you, Jim Finley. Thank you for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Nathan O'Leary.